Hello everyone, Chakra Shelly here doing another video for Love Grows Gaia. This video is about veganism and what going vegan means and the things that there's a holy trifecta of things that you don't want to eat. Any kind of animal product, DNA, eggs, cheese, meat, fish, that includes anything that has a skeletal system, a spine, anything, okay? You don't want to eat bottom feeders. You don't want to eat any meat or flesh from the sea, and you don't want to eat any meat, flesh, or blood from the land, and that does include eggs and cheese. So it is veganism. And one of the things that you guys need to know is that if after watching the videos thus far, and you realize that you have portals, that you are portals, and that you're not seeing all dimensions because you haven't had the perception to do so. You will now see all of the dimensions as you're turning your lights back on. Why is veganism important? Because anyone who is feeling spiritually attacked is eating something. They're eating some sort of animal DNA, which opens their portals up that they are unaware of and gives consent to cannibals and vampires and those frequencies here that consume flesh and blood. So if you do not want to be consumed and you want to turn your light back on, you cannot partake in the same frequency, because these entities are going to look at you and say, well, you're eating meat. Why can't I eat you? What's the difference between me eating a human or a baby and you eating a cow or a chicken or a dog or whatever the fuck you eat as far as flesh and blood goes? This is an important spiritual consent that you need to be aware of, okay? So for most vegans, they're all about like, oh, I don't want to kill animals. No, thou shalt not kill. You're not supposed to be killing and eating anything. If anything dies, it needs to go back into the ground where the matter came from, where the vessel came from the planet. Avoiding and not consuming fluoride or gluten is also very important because of your glands, okay? Your lymphatic system, your pituitary and your pineal gland, and the Christ consciousness frequency that flows up and down, that water, that fluid that flows in between these will not be getting interfered with, okay? So let's talk about hydration. Drinking half your weight in pounds in ounces of water every day is imperative. So if you weigh 100 pounds, and you might have to convert depending on what country you're in, it's pounds v ounces, half your weight thereof. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you would drink 50 ounces of lukewarm, non-fluorinated water every day. If you are in a place that has fluorinated water, you have access to copper. Go online and order copper wands, big fat copper wands. The bigger the piece, the better. Nothing with any points or anything, and something that you can slide into a bottle. They make copper wands. What the copper will do is wrap itself around the fluoride that's in the water. It will create a coating, and it will not attach to any of your glands. It will go through your bloodstream, which is fine, and it will be kicked out through your urine and through your pooping system, okay? So putting copper wands in your water. Now, to take care of that copper wand, you take that copper wand out every night before you go to bed. You wash it with a toothbrush with baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. You rinse it off very well, and you put it back in your bottle and reuse it again the next day. So don't worry about them fluorinating your water. You have a solution here, okay? Eating any kind of DNA code that doesn't belong to a plant is giving consent to cannibals and vampires to drink your blood and eat your flesh. And you are not going to be a sacrifice. I will not honor a sacrifice. The blood that falls onto the ground will not produce anything but white sage. Okay? So, and the occult needs to hear that. You, all of you who are waking up, choosing to be vegan, choosing to no longer take in any fluoride, the fluoride and the gluten, don't eat any more gluten, you guys. You've got to be gluten-free. You've got to go into a space where you're not clogging up all of your glands, okay? Going gluten-free is where you're going to lose a shit ton of weight, all right? I used to be really fat 10, 15 years ago. I weighed like 250 pounds. I was taking a bunch of pharmaceuticals. I was on birth control, all that stuff. Okay? Went gluten-free, and I lost like 10 pounds a week until it just melted off of me. Now I'm to a point where I have to eat a little bit of gluten sometimes just to keep my weight on, but it still doesn't clog up my shit, okay? So fluoride-free, gluten-free, veganism is the holy trifecta of you taking yourself out of the unholy food chain.